I know that this calling is bigger than myself. I know that the hand of God is bigger than myself. And right now we are currently working with Pakistan. And people want to know how Pakistan and why Pakistan. And hey, I had the same questions. I'm like, can you give me United States? Can I have a little bit of territory here in the United States, please? And I really didn't understand. I was just committed when I received a message. I believe I received an email from the beginning, and then I received a message on my messenger when my Facebook was public. And there is this young kid, and I'm not kidding you, he's 29 now, so that was 5 years ago. Young kid, persistent to talk to me, to please call him, or can he please have my phone number. He was instructed by God himself to contact me. He said that God himself told him to contact me and that I would be obedient. That's what he said. He said, woman of God, God told me to contact you, and he said that you will be obedient. And I'm like, I don't know where you crawled out of. Like, I was so closed. I was closed. I didn't want to hear it. I didn't, Pakistan? Like, when I asked him where he was from, I was like, he told me, because I wasn't even responding to his messages. I was like, Pakistan? Like, really, God? Like, where is Pakistan? I'm not kidding you. I had to look it up in the map to see where Pakistan was. And I seen it to be on the other side of this world. Like, they're like neighbors to India and Asia. Like, you go to the end of the world. That's it. So I guess several months passed by, and I was like, okay, who is this kid and what does he want? And, I really had to go to prayer about it. And I think really what caught my attention was that he was so persistent. He was so persistent, he would not give up. Like, he was not going to give up. He was going to talk to me. He didn't care how long it was going to take. So when I finally came around to asking him, how can I help you, kind of thing, he was telling me about an orphanage there in Pakistan. And honestly, he didn't ask me for resources or anything. All he asked me if I would teach them, if I would help him and teach him the word of God. So I was like, wow, I'm making a big old fuss over nothing. He wasn't asking for money. He was just asking me if I could just help him by teaching the word. Teach him and help him with the word, and then teach the orphanage. So that's how that happened. That's how that door got open. And it has really changed my life. I didn't want to. I'm honestly trying not to get emotional here. Just give me a second. So I just came back from Pakistan. Oh, Lord. My life was shifted. I've never in my whole life have witnessed something like it. If you're familiar with their word, they remind me so much of the widow's mite. They gave with all they had. They gave their best. They didn't cut corners. So we went on this missions trip, right? And everywhere, anything we did, if it was baptize them, or if it's ordained a pastor, or revival, we fed them because we knew that they were coming so far away. And I remember the Lord telling me, he said, Dinah, they didn't come for the rice. And they didn't come for the rice. They come for my word. everywhere we went, they were already there for like 2-3 hours worshiping. They were in worship. By the time we went to the revival, by the time we went to the ordination, can say that quickly. They were in worship for 2-3 hours. And honestly, whoever came, it was because we had provided transportation for them. And then here we have our vehicles parked in our garage or in our front yard, and we can't even get to worship. Or we're too busy looking at the clock to see what time it is because the game's about to start. And they didn't come for the rice. I remember there, and I was like, God, where are you? I was so broken, and I was just asking God, where are you? And he said, I remember it clear as day. He said, I'm here. I've heard their cry. He said, I've heard their cry. I mean, these people they shifted me. They shifted me. The love that they have, the support, the unity that they have for one another, the love that they have for God. I was like, Lord, they love you so much. They have faith. Like, their faith doesn't even waver. And they don't even have much to show. Their faith is not like the wave that gets tossed and turned. And I remember him telling me, I've heard their cry. That's why you're here. Well, I was a hot mess after that. I was like, me, God? I don't have anything to give them. I don't know very many people. It's just going to take a village to do what you want to do. And he said, I have gone before you. I have gone before you. The next day, Sister Joann, she's part of the board, and I didn't even tell you how we got there, but you have to apply for a visa to go to Pakistan. You can't just go and show up and say, hey, I'm here. So we had to apply for a visa, and our visa got approved in 2 days. And the thing about it too, we had tried to downsize and sell our big home, and we couldn't sell it 2 other times. But this time, it was so crazy. The time that everything, like God's time, like he is all about time. Like he knows the perfect time. He knows when. And you just can't move the hand of God. And we sold our house. I sold all of our furniture there. Actually, our home, now this is where we raised our children. It's a small, cozy cottage home. Perfect for my husband and I. And as we travel a lot, so we're hardly ever here. And this was our Airbnb. We turned this to our Airbnb, and we moved to our home. And we sold it. I sold everything there. I took everything that every dollar that I made, that I sold all that furniture from our house. It was a 3,000 square foot home. So you can imagine everything that was in it. And I took that with me. And the next day, Sister Joann is overhearing Pastor Sherry. He was saying, we're so blessed. We're so blessed. And she's like, why do you say that? Why do you say you're so blessed? And he said, because God answers our prayers. Great Mom is here. They call me Great Mom. Great Mom is here. So God answered our prayers. She's here. And that was so confirmation of what I was getting in my spirit, what God was depositing in my spirit. And I was so broken, and I have not been the same. And I'm trying to figure out every way that I can to reach out. If I have to sit here and make a video, which is just the least thing that I like to do, to help you, to help you to understand the other side of the world. When the Bible tells us to go to the nations, he didn't say go just to your nation. He says go to the nations. And why on the other side of the world? Why not? Why not the people from the other side that are calling out for God, that there's salvation, there's great revival happening on the other side of the world. Isn't that who we are, and how the reason, our job duty as a Christian, as a believer, to share the good news to the nations? When I went, and there's so much that I am leaving out because of time. There's so much work to be done. Did you know that the majority of Christians in Pakistan are slaves? They work in brick factory slaves, as slaves. And their debt, it never gets paid because money is being lent to them so they can eat, or they can have room and board. How are they going to live? So we've already freed 3 families so far. The last woman that we freed, she was in her 70s. She didn't even know how old she is. She didn't even know her age. She didn't even know her birthday. All she knows that she was a slave, and since she was a baby. She's been there all her life. So we freed her. When we freed her, she didn't even know what freedom was. She didn't even never had the taste of the world in her life. We took her on a feast. I told them I want a little bit of everything. I want a burger. I want chicken. I want French fries. My favorite snack. That's probably why I can't get this weight down. But she didn't even know what to do with all that. She never experienced anything like it. And when I first went to the brick factory, I have a lot of other YouTube videos you can watch. That was the very first person I seen, and I held her so tight. I held her in my arms. I had nothing to say to her. I didn't even know who she was. So she told me that she was a slave. I held her so tight. And the pastor that goes over there and shares the word, they brought report to me, and they said that woman has never felt that kind of affection and love and compassion from anybody. She's like, I have never felt that kind of love in my whole life. And she's 70 something. So as we're there, we're looking to see where can we start. This big old fat elephant with steroids. I mean, the biggest elephant you can think of is just how I seen the need there. And there's a saying, how do you eat an elephant? Bite at a time, right? So the very first thing that we are trying to come up with is we're trying to buy a 1 acre land, so that way we can tiller it, harvest it, and we can have unemployment for the slave families that we free, or our orphanage, or even the slaves there until they're free. A way to bring work, bring food and resources. So right now we are $10,000 short. $10,000 short to raise $12,000. That's the very first project that we have. The big picture, if you want the whole enchilada, it's $1 million. $1 million. Can God do it? Yes. And we've been working with Pakistan for 5 years now. I just barely went. And then, to make a long story short, whenever I told God, yes, I'll help him, I was like, don't ask me to go to Pakistan because I won't. Yeah, you trying to tell God what to do, right? But every goal that we set for Pakistan, God has been faithful to fulfill it. So I don't know how, everything's quiet, crickets I can hear them chirping right now. And I'm like, and it has to be, we have to ask during the month of December, you know how busy and stressful that month is? Well, you know what, even better. God is God. God is on his throne and in control. And if God put it in front of me and he put it, right in my face, I know he's going to make a way. It has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with my team. It has nothing to do with anything that we want to do, but it has everything to do with God. So I want you to pray, fast, and ask. Pray, fast, and ask. Pray to God. Fast if you have to. And ask, how can I help him? Why don't you make a decision to partner up with us? You know, there's Christmas bonuses that are going like hot cakes right now. Everybody's getting a bonus. My cleaning lady is getting a bonus. Ask God how you can partner up with us. If that's a one-time gift, I did the math the other day. I have it right here. Hold on a sec. So I did some numbers real quick. And I was like, if 10 of y'all, because we need 10,000. If 10 of y'all just give $1,000, this first project is done. And I went on, I said, okay, 20 of y'all give $500. 20 of y'all. If 40 of y'all give $250 each. Close. Done. On to the next. If 100 of y'all give $100, say you get $1,000 bonus. You can give $100 out of $1,000 bonus, right? Yes, you can. You can. You know, this is the only area that you could test God. Why? Because he knew how hard it was going to get into the back pocket, to the wallet. He knew how tough it would have been. It is so tough. I just cannot get it. Poverty mentality and orphanage mentality, all they're thinking about, what are you going to do for me? The Bible tells us that it's better to give, is what Acts 20:35. It's better to give than to receive. It is. It honestly is. I'd rather have more to be able to give and to bless than to receive. It's hard for me to receive. It's really hard for me to receive. But I know that I don't want to rob their blessing. But this is the only area that you can test God in. So I pray that you pray, fast, and ask. And then action, of course. I don't want to make this video longer than what it is, and it's probably going to be really long. But I just pray that as you watch this video, and if you watch the rest of the videos, there's several out there that whoever's showing you this, it can lead you to other videos. I pray that you come alongside and answer the call. Answer the call. We cannot do this without you. God has made us, created us, fearfully and wonderfully has created us to partner alongside him to make this world a better place. God bless you, and thank you so much for tuning in.